Alright. Everyone here? Everyone here? Good, good. I don't know if maybe this is gonna fuck up or not, but we'll figure it out.
We'll burn that bridge when we cross it.
Yeah. Hola amigos, welcome back to the greatest story never told. After several trials and errors, I think I fixed it, but we shall see. This may not be that long of a session anyways. Last time, in our wonderful story, our party had found their way to the lake to find that there was a water genasi kind of stuck in the middle of it, and
Had issues.
they stopped the whole sickness thing, and then they were cornered by a pack of the impure werewolves, as well as a high elf wizard dude who is kind of a dick.
Kinda.
And they murdered him. They murdered some werewolves. Everything cleared up. Then everybody went back to town to rest. And Torrent went back to the lake and then learned that that Shiver, the water genasi, may not be gone altogether. All right, ready? Okay, since
More or less.
y'all all started up, we left the last session off with, oh goodness. We left the last session off with everybody resting. That means that I get to start wherever I want. Ain't it great?
20 years later. Well, that escalated quickly.
You've been sleeping
If
for
it's
50
20 years later, we only leveled up once.
For a millennium I have slumbered. Who dares awaken?
Okay, so I am starting with Torrent for a very good reason.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
Just go. Let's just go.
Alright. So you open your eyes and you find yourself in a very gray area. It's very similar to where you had been before when you were in the lake with the other water genasi, Shiver. There's sand at your feet, but there's no other people except for one huddled person a couple of feet away from you. I can't hear you, dude.
I thought I was unmuting myself, but I muted myself.
Oh god, collapse, please.
Fight me. So I'm gonna call out to the person and be like, "Hey, you okay?"
And you kind of see shoulders like move a bit, just slumping up and down.
Okay, so I'm gonna like take a couple steps closer to them and be like, "Who are you?"
The closer you get, you can very much recognize that this person is Shiver, just sitting there, making little circles in the sand.
Okay, so I'm gonna sit down next to him, and also start doodling in the sand, just like little patterns of waves. And I'm gonna be like, "Are you happier?"
And he kind of as he's doodling little shapes, he just kind of stops for a second, and then continues, and he goes, "That depends on what you mean by happy."
I'm gonna be quiet for a second, cause I don't have a very good grasp of happiness. And she's gonna be like, "Do you feel better now than you did when you were stuck in the water?"
And he just kind of grumbles a little bit, and he's just like, "Well, I'm still stuck, so there's not much of a difference. I'm just stuck on a moving target now."
I don't know what to do for him. So I'm gonna be like, do you have any idea what I can do to help you further?
And then he just kind of shrugs again. And then he's just like, honestly, I don't know how you did it to know how to fix it. He's just like, I don't even know how I got stuck in the lake.
You don't?
And he shakes his head and he was just like, it wasn't that pompous ass of an elf. But it was someone.
So my connection might have been messing up. I did not hear like half of what you just said.
He said that it wasn't the elf, but someone got him stuck.
Do you know where your physical body is?
And he shrugs again.
Well, I don't think you're dead, if you can remember that somebody bound you to the lake. So I think there's a way. I just need to keep looking.
And then he's just like, and he turns to you and just kind of snickers for a little bit and goes, it's just like, you're surprisingly okay with the situation.
You mean having you bound to me, or?
And then he's just like, what else? He's just like, I could be talking about, the number of people wanting to murder you has suddenly increased.
No, I don't think there's much of a change in that. People always want to murder me. But the fact that you're bound to me means that I at least could move you. And if I could do it once, I can do it again. So I know that there's a way. I just have to find it.
And then he's just like, well, he stands up and he just starts kicking the sand over what he was drawing. And then he is just like, better wake up then. And like that, you suddenly realize you're awake and in the barracks at the soldiers' keep.
The first word out of my mouth is gonna be fuck.
Okay, who's starting their morning early after yesterday?
Hi, Bill.
Okay, our wonderful.
Mainly
Warren
I'm
will as
assuming
well.
Squeaks is hungry and poking me.
Okay, first one up and out of bed. What are you doing?
I'm climbing down the tree that I was in.
Okay, yeah, you went to sleep in a tree.
Yeah.
I remember that now.
I'm gonna come down and I'm going to help Squeaks hunt something for his breakfast.
As you reach the foothold of the tree, everything seems a lot nicer than it was before. There's that tension in the air, that basic that sickness that was like visibly affecting everybody and everything. Everything just feels a lot cleaner and a lot fresher.
I'm going to make note of this. I'm still going over the events of yesterday and my reaction to things in my head. And I'm a little distracted.
Good. Alright, so you, how are you gonna handle hunting? How are you gonna handle it?
Magic.
Saying is, what are you looking for?
Oh, a small bird or two.
Survival check.
I'm going over to my stats. Okay.
Having speech possibly travel.
What? Seriously?
17.
Having speech.
You are far away. 17. That's fine. You're able to find at least some small game easy enough. Some birds, a rabbit or two, which is surprisingly good compared to what you expected with the impure werewolves in the woods. But everything is it's a very quiet morning. You haven't seen any sign of them at all either.
I'm going to go back into town and find a place to cook the animals I caught. Because knowing my luck, if I try to start a small fire, I'm going to burn the forest down.
At this point, I mean, maybe.
Oh, wait a second. No, I won't. Correction me. I am going to start a small fire with prestidigitation.
Yeah.
And cook the animals and split them between me and Squeaks.
Nice. Quiet enough morning. Okay. Who's next on my list?
Yo.
Okay, Morton, you are awake in the barracks. You can still hear Fargrim snoring. Everyone else is still pretty much asleep, as far as you can see.
Before dawn?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I'm gonna go outside, find a night's patch, and perform my morning tea ceremony.
Okay.
After that happens, I would assume that dawn is just starting, and I'm gonna go find a blacksmith.
Okay. There is the armorer that is in the keep itself, or the fort. I keep saying keep. I don't know why I say keep. Whatever. It's a keep now, guys.
I got you. That sounds good.
Okay.
I assume that he's already hard at work, so
He's already
I'm going
awake
to.
and working, almost as if he never left.
Yeah. I'm going to go up to him and offer my services. Saying, my good sir, if it's all right with you, I have some frustration that I would like to vent out. And in my village, hard work has always expunged any anger that I have had.
He's an older man. He's not by any definition looks feeble at all. He's an older man. He seems like he's seen his share of fighting. Also, that he's done his share of hard work. He just kind of looks up at you for a moment, and then points over to a stack of weapons and armor and stuff that are just set to the side. Some of them damaged, some in need of repair, and goes, "Plenty of work to go around after last night. If you wanna," he was just like, "if you wanna give me a hand, be my guest." He's just like, "Don't know what the commander will say about me putting you to work, though."
It is of my own choice, and I will gladly accept the repetition of hard work before my journey.
And he's just like, "Alright then." And he goes back to what he's doing. Like he said, there's lots of stuff that needs repair and everything. You can definitely see everything from claw marks to all sorts of different types of damage across the armor and weapons. But there are many things that are torn and broken. It definitely looks like some of the soldiers got into an all-out fight with these werewolves.
I'm gonna set my bag down since I've already gathered my shit, and next to the door, and then get to work.
All right. Next on my list, Fargrim.
Yep.
What are you doing?
All right, so Fargrim's gonna get up, get some breakfast, and then seeing that everybody else is kind of doing their own thing, he's gonna go ahead and look around town for some parts.
What kind of parts?
Well, he is going to be looking to make a new gun.
Okay, I mean, where all are you looking? Because there's gonna be. It depends. Because as far as there's general supply stores, there's the closest thing you're gonna find to any kind of supplies here is gonna be with the armorer. Mostly everything else is for standard living and farming.
Well, let's go to the armorer then.
You might want to look out for a jeweler as well, since fine metals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, armorer first.
Okay, as you head over to the armorer and you are, let me see. Yeah, roll me investigation.
Alrighty. That's going to be a 7 total.
There's not much in the way of use here. Everything is very hack and slash and blunt for attacking. There's quite a bit of scrap metal, but nothing that would be used that you could see that would be very useful for the final points of making guns.
Alrighty.
You basically just got the majority of what you were going to get out of it when you made silver bullets.
All right, let's see about the jeweler. See if they've got any fine things.
All right, so you're just ready to head into town?
Yeah, let's head into town.
Okay, heading up into town, and let's see. There's not what you would consider an actual jeweler's shop. There is someone who's running a booth where he seems to be selling fine wares from everything from fancy jewels. He doesn't look local. It looks like he set it up overnight. But he's selling an array of different things.
All right. Well, I'll go browse what he's got.
Okay, roll me another investigation.
That's much better. That's gonna be a 22.
Okay, as you're looking through the things that he has, he's like, "Come, please, take a look." He's just like, "I have a little bit of something for everyone," and there's everything from jars to little things, and then there's something that you notice you didn't think you would see is a fine white powder, which it's very, very similar to gunpowder, except it tends to have the opposite effect. So rather than
Wait, I'm sorry. What's the opposite effect of gunpowder?
let me
Imploding instead of exploding.
Let me fucking finish before you start attacking me. It's just like, rather than making an explosion, you could possibly make bullets that would freeze people.
So it's an elemental type powder.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
But I said chill and then laughed at my own pun.
So, hold up. Okay, never mind. I'm not gonna question it.
Okay. So, I'll take a look and I'll ask them about the powder, and I'll see if there's any other things that I might be able to use for the internal mechanisms that I'm going to need.
And the shopkeeper kind of sees you eyeing the jar, and he was just like, "Oh yes, very fine." He's just like, "All the way from Dagmar's tooth. They set it to they set it to make walls easier to break. And it's just like they freeze it, and then they just hit it, crumbled. It's just like crumbled like glass."
Good to know. How much?
And for it's basically a mason jar. It does not look like it's properly stored though, but it's a so like you'd have like handled with care definitely. But he's just like for a jar this size, he's just like, it's my only one. It's gonna cost you 10 gold.
All right. I believe I currently have 149 gold. All right. I'll go ahead and buy the whole mason jar.
Okay. So the mason jar, as far as mechanisms, he does have like an array of different little clocks and stopwatches. There is a small music box, but it just depends on what you would be looking to spend. Any one of these things could be taken apart quite easily and retrofitted.
A music box, huh? Plenty of gears and small little mechanisms in that. Let's go with the music box.
And he's just like, he's very much trying to upsell everything, and he's just like this. It's like it's fine craftsmanship. And he's just like, but it's only 2 gold.
Okay. I'm gonna roll insight. See if that's a fair price. That'll be a 15.
He's saying it's only 2 golds, but it's quite obvious that the gear to spin it to wind it up, the wind up gear is obviously jammed. So he's obviously trying to act like it's not broken.
All right. I will roll. Let's do persuasion to try to get him to come down on its price. Actually, you know what? I'm going to use history instead. Using my knowledge of, mechanical devices, that's what I'm going to use to try to talk him down.
All right.
All right, that'll be a 19.
Okay, and what are you telling him?
I'll basically say, it does look like at one point it was a very finely crafted music box, but if you see here and here, these are supposed to work like this in my experience, and they're currently not doing so. So we're not gonna pay that price today for this. I will give you 50 silver.
Have you given up on the Fargrim voice?
Sorry,
I just woke up.
You're good. I was just wondering.
As everybody is just like losing the ability to make fun of Michael, I was like, ah.
Are you kidding? I love the Fargrim voice.
Yeah, and he looks a little annoyed, but he goes, bah. He was just like, fine. He was just like, I'd be willing to go down.
All right, anything else in there?
Not that you can see. He just has a lot of general supplies.
So
considering what you currently have, you could make you could probably take us apart and turn that mason jar into a bomb.
Well, I mean, that's its own thing, but I'm trying to let's see here. few pieces of scrap metal, a heavy duty
Doodle.
bit of tubing, heavy doodle. All right, well, I'm going to go gather up a tube and some scrap metal, so I'm going to look around for that stuff.
Okay, that is... Who wants to go next? We have two people that are tieflings.
I'll go next.
Okay.
Mine's pretty simple.
Yeah, but you sound really far away, so make sure you either move your mic or speak up.
Yeah. Sorry. I said I'll go next, but my stuff's pretty simple. So
Go ahead.
I'm gonna when I wake up, I'm basically just gonna go out, outside the fort, find a nice patch of ground, smoke my pipe, and meditate, or at least attempt to.
Alright.
That is literally it.
Yeah, no, that's not a bad thing to do. And Holly, you're awake.
Is everyone left?
You can kind of see that Torrent's still sitting on the bed, just looking like, what the fuck, like she just woke up. And Valko's on the floor trying to empty sand out of his boots. And you can hear him mumbling little curses and stuff like that as he's with a brush just trying to get it all out of his clothes. And you
Well, the first thing Holly thinks of when she wakes up is that what she usually does when she goes to sleep and wakes up is think of her brother and her friend, just what she learned really shook her about them. So since she hears people, she quietly cries.
Cut it out.
And then wipes it away and turns around and gets up. And she looks at Torrent and Alco.
Mm-hmm.
And she smiles, like hiding it, and then she's like, "Oh, good morning," and then she goes to have her small breakfast. And she walks out.
You just say good morning, get up and walk out.
Yeah, well, she's not in her head.
Didn't you get a chance to say good morning back?
Yeah, she just literally said and walked as she was walking out.
All right.
She waved.
And Valko's like, and he just looks up and he's like, good morning. And then he goes back to just shaking his shoe violently.
So, are we back to me?
Yes, we're back to Torrent.
Okay. So I'm gonna, slip off my bed and then go sit next to Valko and be like, do you still need help with the other shoe?
And then he just stops and he turns and he's like, please.
Alright, so I'm just gonna pick up his other shoe and start shaking it to try to get the sand out for him.
He's just like, if I never see another pile of sand, it'll be too soon. And he's just like brushing as much of it out.
It's a rough and course and it gets everywhere.
He's the only one legit wearing armor, guys.
I'm just gonna laugh at him a little bit, and I'm gonna be like, I'm pretty sure you have a long life ahead of you, friend. Chances are you will see more sand.
Then he's just like, I will actively go out of my way to avoid it.
Plot twist, guys. We're going to the desert.
Be like, I'm going to buy you a vial full of sand and turn it into a necklace for you to carry with you at all times.
And then she's just like, I don't know whether to be insulted or proud.
Are we turning Valko into Jack Sparrow? I've got a job to.
I've got a giant debt.
Well, I'm not telling him to put somebody's heart in it.
Just slowly drive him insane.
I can avenge that.
And eat bottles of sand.
Here we go. Okay.
No matter what happens, there's always a jar of sand for him.
Okay. And so yeah, he's just like, I don't know whether to be insulted or proud.
Well.
And he just after shaking his boot, he's like, it's not gonna get any better for a while, and he slips it back on, and he's starting to fix the rest of his armor, and he's just like, It's just like, I've wasted enough time on this today.
I'm gonna hand him the other boot, and I'm gonna be like, you could always just go throw yourself in the moat again, see if that rinses the sand out.
And he's
Get
just
some more
like,
sand on them.
but I took my clothes off last time. That's the difference.
But this time, don't.
He's just like, you were trying to kill me.
Only a little bit.
Then he's just like, he just looks at you for a moment, and then just before he says anything, just turns and leaves.
Alright, so I'm gonna get up and just go wander around. I feel like I haven't really actually seen that much of this place.
It's just the fort or the town?
The fort first, the town later, if I get a chance.
Yeah, the fort is really big. It's a lot nicer when people are not panicking about dying and being poisoned.
I can imagine.
Passing the main hall, Holly is being given food. Some of the soldiers are just clearing stuff out of her way because it looks like they were all trying to fix their own shit. They were trying to organize after the chaos that went on last night. Some of them are still passed out on the floor. Like it was too much effort to actually move to a bed.
Oh.
Same.
And
Every night this week.
And one of the soldiers just kind of runs over to one that's sleeping on the table and is just like, up you go, Farland, and just flips the table and he rolls off. And then they throw a tablecloth over the table and they're like, we'll get you some food in a minute, Miss Holly. We'll be right back. And one of them just scurries off to the kitchen. And Valko's just like, I wish Brutus had this kind of customer service.
You wish his customer service was worse?
Then
I think you mean it's entertaining.
And he's just like, no. He's just like, Brutus doesn't speak to his customers.
He spoke to us. Occasionally.
He's just like, that makes you a very rare exception. Which also explains why he let you in the liquor cellar.
He let us in the liquor cellar because he knew that if we kept sitting at the bar, we would drink him out of house and home.
So, Valko's... Sorry, my, ear itches crazy.
Recalls Morin shotgunning a keg.
Y'all think I'm fucking joking. We would have drank everything.
Yeah, that's still the greatest. So,
Fargrim needs more drink after he realized the guy he shot in the eye was back alive.
So they're getting food ready and everything. So Valko just kind of sits down and is just like, oh yay, breakfast. And I don't know, are you staying in the dining hall? Or are you still exploring?
I'm gonna keep wandering.
It's a very simple to navigate fort. Everything just kind of seems to be, there's the first floor is the dining hall, all of the main offices, and that's just the big room. The second floor has the barracks and the training room, and then there's a little offside building where the armory is, that leads out to the courtyard.
I'm gonna go out to the courtyard.
Sorry, the cats are fucking with shit on my desk. You little
It's
bastard!
okay, cats are more important than I am.
Sorry. Well, no, they're literally toppling everything I just put on that desk.
That's what cats do.
Little bastards. And it's not even Snugs. Snugs is so fat, he doesn't even care.
Ares and Hades.
Yeah, they're being tyrants. They just woke up. Anywho. So you wander out to the courtyard. There's a fair amount of people outside enjoying the sunlight, which, being in Hoskoth, it is a surprising difference to see the sun, considering it was overcast over there. There's some are running laps around the courtyard. Some of them are actually training. There are are several dummies that, as you can see, Lieutenant Oak is leading some of them in archery practice.
I love you dearly, but Sean put my cat on the camera and I got distracted. Can you please repeat that last little bit?
I'm just gonna stop repeating if you guys
Scrub.
can't pay attention.
It's my cat.
Notice how I could still mess with my cats and swat them.
Yes,
Long
but
story
I'm
short-
a rank of a human being, so
Long story short, dummies in the courtyard. Oak's leading him in archery practice. There's some other dummies and other training going on. And then, of course, there's the blacksmith.
cool. I'm gonna walk over to the blacksmith.
You're in the blacksmith. You can see Moden just like working away. He's beginning to repair some of the dented equipment. And he's made a surprising amount of progress considering that you don't think he got up much earlier than you did.
Might I also add with my bare hands?
Yes.
So I'm gonna walk over to Morton and I'm gonna be like, "You having fun?"
I look up from my work and give her a very toothy grin, which, yeah, and say, yes, hard work on an early day is very relaxing. And pop out another dent.
And
I'm gonna kind of chuckle and be like, "I always found, relaxing more relaxing, but I will leave you to it since you're enjoying yourself. Just remember that I like daggers."
Morin will give a very his bellowy laugh and say, "I will keep my eye out, friend."
Thank you. And I'm gonna go to the big old hall and go get food.
okay. And Fargram, your search for other stuff that you need is not actually going as well as you'd like it to.
Okay.
Because as far as this town basically has the bare minimums right now. You got lucky with the one shopkeeper coming in, but as far as all they have right now is the basics, and like a handful of good food at that.
All right. Well, I'll go about to crafting some ammo with that strange powder, and we'll leave the music box alone for now. It's just spare parts as it is. And that's what I'll spend my day doing is crafting ammo.
Okay, and who's next on this roulette wheel?
Yes.
Doctor, are you back in town?
No, I'm taking notes on the
I'm listening for now.
on how the forest has changed and everything because of the water shit not being so present.
Okay. So you're gonna stick outside for a little longer?
Yep.
Okay, so I may just full on skip past y'all's morning shit. What are you gonna fucking do? Because we're not making any progress.
After Morin's done, he'll go and catch a late breakfast.
Mm.
Um,
I'm gonna turn in for breakfast as well.
Yay, food time. Yay! Okay.
I know I still have to talk with the group about me staying with the group and whatnot because that hasn't really been discussed. Which kind of came back from the fight. We're all like, "I'm a nap," and they won't sleep.
As Saze kind of makes her way back and she's in front of the she basically meets Morin in the hallway as they're heading for the dining hall. You come back to the almost surprised scene of several soldiers watching Valko stack eggs and whatever he can on top of a piece of bread.
And Holly's just looking at him like, what?
No, then he's trying to make as big of a sandwich as he can possibly. He's trying to fit the whole breakfast on this piece of bread.
That looks efficient. I can dig it.
How tall has he made it?
It's about 6 inches now, and he
Jesus
hasn't even
Christ.
put on the top piece yet. He's spit everything he can on there.
That's a beefy sandwich.
Which surprisingly, the people of Prudence have a very hearty breakfast. They definitely have some kind of meat or steak, some eggs, a nice little salad with beets, and as well as some very a very healthy breakfast for which would definitely fit them, and they're not small servings.
It's the most important meal of the day.
Is there any fruit?
There's a couple of bowls with fruit on the table, but this is obviously a breakfast for meat eaters, whereas the side options are smaller than the protein.
Morin's gonna pull one of the cooks aside and ask for a. Well, I mean, I guess it would be a turkey leg technically, or basically a big piece of meat, and then he will pluck 3 apples out of the basket and just start eating them like they're grapes.
The chef kind of looks at you, and he kind of looks very, very drained, like he was up before everybody else. And then he goes, "We got another healthy appetite, I see." And then he's just like, "The commander can eat thrice whatever these soldiers put away." And then he's just like, "I'd bring you one of his steaks." And then he runs off to the kitchen.
I really just wanted you to tack knife him with a turkey leg like, right in the face. Here's your goddamn leg, whoomp!
Before he runs off, I will grab his hand and put 5 pieces of gold in it. And I will say my gratitude as always.
And then he's very, very nice. And then he goes off to the kitchen. And you gotta see the soldiers, they're like, there is no way he can eat that whole sandwich. And then he's just like, "Dude, you're gonna eat," and someone's just like, "You're going to make a mess." And then he's just like, "Naysayers." He's just like, "I eat more than this." And he's like, "I eat more than this every morning, if I can." And then he's just like this, and then he puts the top piece of bread on it, and he's just like, "Is going to work."
While eating her sides across from Valco, Holly's gonna be like, "Seriously? Why, Valco? Why?"
And he's just like, "It is efficient to eat one thing than 6 things."
She'd be like, "You're disgusting." With a straight face.
Morin's gonna attempt something.
And he's just like, "Duly noted. Now let me eat."
I'm just gonna go around and collect like some bread, a hunk of cheese if possible, and some fruit. And that's what I'm gonna nibble on.
Yeah.
No, Morin's not going to. Morin's going to. Yeah. I figured that would be a bad idea. Morin's gonna walk up behind him and clap him on the back for getting his strength as normal, and say, "Now that is a breakfast of champions," and put another apple in his mouth.
I feel like that sandwich should be an Arby's commercial. We have the meats.
And he just goes, "Whoo!" as you hit him, and he's just like, "See?" He's just like, "Somebody knows a good breakfast when they see it."
I'm going to decide to walk into the tavern at this point in time.
I'm just gonna roll my eyes.
And as you walk in the door, you just see Valco with the corner of the sandwich in his mouth, and he looks up, and he just goes, "Huh," and waves as he's getting ready to eat it.
I'm not going to be surprised. I'm going to sit down and start rereading over my notes.
And he takes a bite out of the sandwich, and you can see that some of the eggs and the lettuce is falling out the back, but he's holding it together. He's got like a vice grip on the sandwich, so like not much is escaping. So he's doing a lot better than you thought he was going to.
I now really want a sandwich. Damn it, Subway's closed.
I want a breakfast sandwich now, like, fuck. Denny's is open. Oh, Denny's is open.
You're right.
I am right.
Denny's is gross, though.
Fucking excuse me?
Our Denny's isn't that bad.
Okay, you guys have a good Denny's? Because the last two Denny's, the Denny's in Austin by Red Sevens is terrible.
Yeah, because it's near Red Sevens.
Moving on.
Do I want to pay $2 for shitty pancakes or $8 for good pancakes at IHOP?
Pay $4 for all you can eat pancakes.
Anywho, moving on. Sorry, you guys distracted me. It was breakfast. What about second breakfast?
No, that was
11 Z's. 11 Z's.
We are sponsored by both Denny's and IHOP.
Denny's tweets at me sometimes when I make comments about breakfast, so...
Totally counts. Totally the same thing.
Okay, anywho. Torrent, as you are wandering the halls... Evens or odds?
Odds.
Oh, evens are better.
Motherfucker, don't make that face. Don't scare me.
You know what, evens are better.
Anywho, as you're wandering the hall, you hear... Torrent! Torrent!
I'm gonna turn. I know it's the little princess. I'm gonna turn to her.
Amethystine is peeking around the corner. She's like, "Psst, I need your help."
What do you need, little one?
She's just like, I haven't seen Papa all morning.
Where's the last place you know he was?
I saw him this morning when he rolled me out of bed, saying that just 'cause I went outside late at night doesn't mean I get to sleep in. And then I went past his office, but there was a scary man in his office, so I left.
Okay. I'm gonna reach my hand out for her, and I'm gonna be like, let's be very quiet, and let's go sneak by his office and see if he's still there.
And she's just like, right. And she grabs your hand,
trying
and
to
she's
strain
just...
stalker territory.
And
I always feel like somebody's watching me, and I have no privacy. No. Sorry. Continue.
And so, you guys are...
Not sorry, don't lie.
You're right, I'm not.
You guys wander down the hall towards the office. Roll me a stealth check.
Please, God, fail it.
I don't think that's possible.
Gets a 1.
My stealth is plus 10, so...
Ones are always an option.
It's a 1.
I rolled an 8, so 18.
Fucking bullshit. And...
Bitch, do you want me to send you my character sheet? My stealth is plus 10.
And as you inch closer to the door, you can see that it wasn't shut all the way, but you can definitely hear voices coming from the office. One of them being Commander Atasi's, and the other one not being one that you don't recognize. And you hear a kind of grumble that is very, very much the commander, and he's just like, why don't you get to the point, Gadriel? I don't have all day. If you hadn't noticed, I have a mess to finish cleaning up. And the other voice just kind of laughs and goes, no. He's just like, there's no reason to be testy. He's just like, I was just wondering how you were enjoying your new post. And the commander is just like, how do you think? Oh wait, it looks like we solved the water issue, so I'm doing fine. And you basically
Damn,
you can
son.
see Amethystine leaning past you, and she
So I'm gonna
slips.
grab her and pull her back.
She slips, and then you just like catch her, and she's like, oh, thank you. And then he was just like, what are you doing here, Gadriel? Don't you have a post in the capital to, to take care of? He's just like, I know you're busier than I'm supposed to be. And then he's just like, I do. He's just like, but I could afford a day off, especially once I convinced the elders to let me check in on your progress. And he's just like, I was going to assist, but it looks like you have the problem all sorted out. And he's just like, what I expect of a blue blood. And he's just like, you're doing fairly well for yourself despite your limited resources. And the commander is, you could kind of hear a growl, and it must be so pleasant being up there on your pedestal. And then he's just like, you better be careful. And it's just like, it's the people who below you who can knock it over. And then he's like, the people below me aren't strong enough. And then he's like, besides. And it's just like, you used to be on a pedestal like that too.
This sounds like a dick fighting contest.
Yeah, basically.
Then the commander is, you kind of hear a slam on his desk as he puts his hands down. And then he's just like, Gadriel, he's just like, I can keep entertaining you, or I could get back to the things that need to get done. Then he's just like, so please tell me why you are here. It's just like, and if it's just to annoy me, then go home. And then you hear another amused chuckle as he's just like, I'm just here to move the archives. He's just like, you did offer them to the Adventures Convention to showcase the wonderful history of Prudence. And he's just like, the elders are very for your ideas. He's just like, for whatever reason. He's like, I don't know why you would insist on broadcasting our personal information.
Quick question. Didn't he tell us that the archives already had been moved?
He told you that the archives were going to be available for viewing during the Adventures Convention. He didn't say when they were moved.
Okay. So at this point, I'm gonna grab little princess and sneak back down the hallway.
Yeah.
Because I really don't feel like standing here being creepy and chancing getting caught.
Stalker mode deactivate.
Stalker mode deactivate. For now.
Over and out.
Roger, Roger.
No.
Roger.
Okay, back in the dining hall, you hear the chef kind of shooing soldiers out of his way, because they're very much caught up in the smell of this very good smelling steak as he's carrying a tray past them, and he's just holding it above his head. He's just like, move, and then this is not a steak for pups. And then he sets it down on a large tray, and there's a large steak across it, and there's a sauce drizzled over it, and then he's just like, this is a meal for heroes. And then he is just like, I told you, I bring you one of the biggest steaks we have.
Morin is going to look greedily at the steak and have a big rumble from his stomach at the smell. And he's going to say, a meal worthy of praise and consumption, and immediately start eating it.
And at this point, Malco's fitting the rest of the sandwich in his mouth. He doesn't have much left, and he's just like, that is a good-looking steak. And then he's just finishing up the rest of his food.
Morin's gonna freeze, his eyes dart to Valco as he's saying the words, and as you can see, it's like shrunk into the cat eyes, and all he does is growl.
And then he's just like, I have my own food.
Holly's just gonna laugh into her cup.
Jess, if you had looked up like 5 seconds before, you'd have seen the fucking cat.
Yeah, like he was messing with the cat for a solid minute and you just didn't even look up.
I'm playing Animal Crossing on my phone. You guys have to tell me.
That sounds like
Bitch, you're supposed to be
a
paying
personal problem.
attention.
Yeah.
I am. It's called multitasking. Fuck.
You suck at multitasking.
Like,
10
my
seconds.
dick.
honestly horrible. Anywho, next.
I'm gonna sit next to Morin, and just start picking at my breakfast while he, devours a small animal.
What does the table look like? Like, who's sitting where?
Basically, you're across from Valko, Morin is next to him, and then Saze's on that side of him. And I'm gonna guess like Fargo is across because there's no more room on that side of the table.
I'm just tinkering away.
Okay, and everyone's having their very simple breakfast. How boring. Okay, Torrin, are you going back to the kitchen?
I wouldn't call Valko's breakfast simple, but yeah.
Well, yeah.
It was a fucking three-stage construction project in which 2 of the workers died in the making of it.
I don't know what you're talking about. That's like,
And I'm pretty sure we had to sacrifice a small village of goblins to feed Morin over here.
He did chug a keg.
Color me unsurprised.
I shotgunned a keg.
Color me unsurprised.
Yeah.
Oh, put him back.
Anywho, okay,
Bring
so
my son back.
tinkering. Torrent, are you eating or not? You are carrying a small child.
I am pulling Amethystine back out into the hallway.
I'm really fucking hungry now.
Like, okay, so we found him. He's still there in his office. I'm gonna keep walking towards the dining hall. I don't know if she wants anything else from me, so I'm giving her a chance.
She's basically
Okay,
running
fucking good
circles
for you.
around you now. And then she was just like, I don't like that guy. He's just like, he smells wrong. He's mean to Papa. And then she's just basically going in circles of not very upset. Her nose is all scrunched up, of not very happy. And then she's just like basically running holes in the carpet around you as like the rest of the floor is wooden, but there's of course one of those stylish long carpets going across it. And she's just circling around you as you're going down the hall. And somehow hasn't managed to trip you yet.
She's amazing.
She's obviously very experienced in doing this.
Very agile.
Must be hooked up to a cocaine drip.
I'm gonna be like, yeah, they didn't sound very cordial to each other.
And she's just like, I've seen him once before, but he was just like, but he's very scary looking, so I never go near him. And she's like, but Papa doesn't like him. He was just like, he gets on Papa's nerves. He was just like, you could tell. And she's basically spun herself, and she veers off, and then goes running after someone down the hallway, like her attention just disappeared off of the subject she was on.
I'm gonna yell after her, don't get lost.
And she's
don't
just like,
talk to strangers.
But that's the most fun part.
Do you want this small child to get kidnapped? Then we have to go on a mission to fucking save her?
Technically, I haven't even fucking met the small child yet, so I have no preference.
Actually, you did, bitch. She came back with us at the end of the fight.
technically he didn't talk to her. Anywho,
Yeah.
Torrent, where are you going? You going to the kitchen?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to the kitchen now. There is a cat, but he is not my cat.
Yeah, he's driving me insane. He keeps climbing on the desk. Anywho, y'all going back to eat. Y'all finish your meals. Blah, 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 blah. What are you doing now?
I'm gonna turn to Saze and be like, by the way, who are you?
That is a very good question.
Just nonchalant.
That is a very good question. I'll let you know when I figure that one out. Right now, I am person who eats fruit for breakfast.
This is also the other team line.
She's gonna shrug and be like, okay.
No. Yeah. In all actuality, sorry. And I'm gonna look at you, kind of have a tense look in my eye, and go, I don't know if I introduced myself. Name's Saze. Nice to meet you. Yeah. And I'm gonna kind of look back at my breakfast and kind of eat faster.
I'm just gonna be like, okay.
Yeah, so you know, Holly and Valko are both easily recognizable as tieflings.
Which is why I'm like, yeah, that's the reason for that.
Yeah.
I forgot Falco was a tiefling.
Yeah. He is a bone
My
white
mental image is
tiefling.
wrong.
After that sandwich, I think Valko might be a god.
Yes.
Speaking of which, as he finishes the sandwich, he's just like, I am sated. And then he was just like, now I'm thirsty. And he gets up and he was just like, someone has to have tea here.
I slowly start to raise my hand and lower it.
And then he was just like, you. I saw that. He was like, don't hold out on me, man.
Morin is going to.
I thought the different tiefling was asking the question.
Morin is going to, as he's still eating, reach inside his bag and take out a small tin and put it on the table, and then focus his whole attention on the steak again.
Then he's like, aha, and he was just like,
Oh my god, Leland, you're so cool, you vape.
shut up. And then he grabs the tin and he was just like, so how many cuts am I making?
I'll take one if you don't mind.
Morin grunts in response as he's finishing the last bite of his steak.
Am I in the dining hall now?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna be like making one.
And then he was just like, do-do-do-do, and he's like, I will return. And he runs off into the kitchen. You can kind of hear the chef going, wait, hey, don't touch that. And he
So I missed all that.
he runs off into the kitchen, and you can hear the chef in the kitchen yelling, wait, hey, don't touch that.
For what?
'Cause he took the tin of tea.
Oh,
He went to
okay.
go make tea.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I don't like kid out.
Morin is gonna finish the steak, lean back, reach inside his mouth, and pull out a bone.
Jesus Christ!
Proceed to snap the bone and suck out the marrow.
How did you miss a bone in a steak?
I'm a dragonborn.
What's your perception? Shit. You know what? Don't even answer that question.
I'm a barbarian. I don't look at things, I hit them.
That's not true. You looked at that skeleton when you pulled it out of the ground.
And proceeded to nuke it with my breath.
Yeah, but
This
you
is
looked at it first.
He breathed
is
on it. He breathed on it aggressively.
He's also a failure of a stone giant.
Super fail.
You will not speak of this.
Anywho,
We're not having this argument again.
What color was he again?
who?
Stone giant, Morin.
Ray.
I'm gonna commission a painting.
Anywho, Valko returns with several cups, and you can see that the chef is basically trying to kick him out of the kitchen. And then he is just like, I have returned with tea!
Huzzah!
And he starts sliding glasses in front of everybody, and he sits, and then he's just like, that chef, very upset.
I'm gonna
Well,
take my cup and just say my gratitude. And start drinking it.
I believe he did go in there without permission.
Okay, everybody mute their mics really quick. Where's that noise coming from?
Yeah, I've been hearing it for a while actually.
No, it's not. It's from brain fart. Fargrim.
My mic's muted.
It's still giving feedback. Huh, interesting.
That is weird.
Who's MR?
Yeah, that's Mike.
That's
Okay,
Or-
the feedback is coming from your mic.
I'll mute Nap then.
Okay, yeah, it stopped.
Oh, glorious relief.
Yeah, everybody, like I said, just mute your mics when you're not speaking.
Yee.
Okay, so you guys are finishing up breakfast. What are y'all doing next? You just being bums?
I'm gonna get up to go find Commander Atasi.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I've introduced myself to everyone in the party, right? Everyone is aware to a certain extent.
Well, if you didn't, you just did.
Yeah, you basically just introduced yourself.
Okay, just making sure.
We are
I'm
aware
gonna-
of you.
I'm gonna grab one of the guards and ask him, where's the Commander Atasi?
Then he looks and he's like, should be in his office. He's like, he was up there earlier.
Would you mind pointing me in that direction?
You were there yesterday.
Oh, I was? Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
That was like the one room that you guys definitely went in.
Oh, okay, cool. So I'll go to that.
Okay, and what is everybody else doing?
I'm just gonna chill in the cafeteria.
I'm gonna find a guard and be like, "Hey, are there any baths in here and some clothes? Cause I just swam in a lake."
Actually,
Vip,
I'm gonna go with her.
And he stops and he goes, yes, the ladies' bath, east side of the barracks.
Why does this guard sound fucking flustered?
It
Does
is,
he not been asked for the baths before?
well, if you want to ask him why he's
Elvira?
flustered, feel free.
Hmm?
If you want to
Obviously,
ask
Holly's
him, feel
character is
free.
just so ridiculously beautiful that he has no words and just completely lost all sense. Obviously.
Obviously.
I'm chill with that.
Is that the consensus you're going with? You're not even going to ask? Okay, go ahead.
Nope.
I'm gonna be like,
Holly is the new Aphrodite.
So I was kind of under the assumption that we all kind of naturally got new clothes and bathed and shit. That hasn't happened. Then I'm probably gonna do that too because lake water sucks.
Lakewater
I was
sucks.
about to turn and ask, like, "Hey, do you want to join us?
Yes.
You're the only other girl here. Do you want to join?"
Well, apparently I haven't bathed yet, so yes, I will do that.
Oh my god, are you guys going to start into the girl gang?
A sub girl gang.
Okay, sure. This is getting ready to get me feel real uncomfortable. Sure, why not?
I just want you to know, in our other campaign, they started a girl gang.
The
I
channel
think
my
we're
inner
more
femininity.
brutal than our gang here.
We are. Because of Jay, I feel like literally
Like-
fucking beating the shit out of random men in bars.
So
And I
we're
just
talking.
switched personalities.
So we're talking Japanese young women biker gang level shit.
I'm
Great.
extremely uncomfortable with that idea. I get to see my pull out a katana. I must beat you for the honor of the Nippon.
Okay, anywho, y'all go off to the baths, you go off to find Commander Atasi. Firegrim, are you just gonna sit there?
I'll go with
Go with who?
to go see Commander Hitasi.
Okay.
No. The bath, obviously. Just gonna turn to a gigantic dwarven orgy. That's what's finna happen. That's
well,
exactly.
I don't know. He could just still be tinkering and not paying attention and just assuming this is where the group is heading.
No.
That would
By
be
now
a
I should be done.
day.
And Wolfric, what are you doing?
I'm gonna go to the kitchen and get myself a beer.
I am still just thinking about a breakfast sandwich. Fuck.
Actually, check that. I'm gonna go find the male shower and I'm gonna go bathe.
Okay. Alright, everybody's getting nice and clean. Molden and Fargrim go upstairs to Commander Atasi's office.
Whoa. Your mic just cut out hardcore on my end. You sounded like a glitch in the Matrix for a second.
How do you know I'm not?
And that's why I'm scared.
3 years. 3 years and I never knew.
My deepest, darkest secret. I am actually just lines of code pretending to be human.
Hey, if somebody offers you to take a blue pill or a red pill, then you should be afraid.
I combined that bitch for a purple
Quick
pill.
question. if she's just lines of code, was she programmed to be my friend, or has she become sentient and chose that for herself?
I was always sentient.
Starting emergency shutdown sequence.
Fuck sense.
Anywho, Modern and Fargo.
Control escape. Control escape.
Wait. Seriously, does that unit have a soul?
I will end you.
Goddamn, guys. Okay, Morden and Fargrim going upstairs to Commander Tossi's office. Door is cracked. It's not closed all the way. But there is minimal conversation coming from the room.
This guy needs to learn to close his doors.
Walk right in like I own the place.
He needs to listen to Panic at Disco song about closing the goddamn
Followed
door.
by his very contrasting bodyguard. The funny part is, he's the more dangerous.
I feel like the dwarf and the dragon would make like a really good
Oh.
sitcom. Just saying.
God damn it.
Their own side adventure.
If only the Dragonborn had wings, he could fly him around. He could snipe people with his fucking cannon or gun.
Don't you get the ability to fly at a higher level?
Strike bitches.
No, I don't.
Rip.
And if you ask a dragon really